I'm Cameron Massey.
And I'm Andrew Callahan.
And this is The Breakdown.
This month we said goodbye to Sherry's Cafe and Pies, a beloved Westland hangout spot. Many students frequented this family-style diner before the franchise decided to close the location. Here's Cameron Massey and Nolan Lamson with more.
Hey Westland. Since the closing of Willamette Cherries, it may seem like some teens' traditions are coming to an end. However, we're here to tell you that that isn't necessarily true. Actually, the solution might be closer than you think. Welcome to Hit the Spot.
When students first heard about the closing of Sherry's, they couldn't help but think of the times they had there, and nowhere else was this more apparent than with the Performing Arts Department.
For years now, after every performance, the cast and crew of a show, whether it be musical or a straight play, will go out to Sherry's. Now that the Westland Sherry's is closed, we can't really do that anymore like we've been doing it for years.
But what if this tradition didn't have to end? We tested the time it took to get from Westland High School to each Sherry's location and found the Oregon City Sherry's was actually shorter. We asked employees of the Oregon City Sherry's about ordering food to go, and they said that 10 minutes in advance should have your order ready, making it an ideal lunch location.
The Oregon City Sherry's, which is just across the river, that's technically closer to Westland High School, and it'll be easier in the long run.
The closing of the Sherry's may have meant the end of a tradition for some Westland students, but with the end of one practice comes the birth of another. For WLHSnow, I'm Cameron Massey. Tweet us at WLHSnow to let us know what your favorite memory was at the Westland Sherry's. We have a new edition of our Beats segment coming up right now, letting you know what some of our favorite student athletes used to bump themselves up. Here's Jenna Kepke.
What pumps me up before a game is just loud music, all the guys, getting crazy.
Pump-ups before a game are just focusing and listening to just mad slaps, which is big music and stuff.
Probably rap music is kind of what we like to listen to because our pregame, like in the stadium, is more clean.
Trippie Redd.
Probably Kendrick Lamar. Favorite song, probably King's Dead by Kendrick Lamar.
Pre-game ritual is find Seth Cornelius, set 225 up on the bench, and then lift.
I have a pretty crazy ritual. Before my soccer games back in the day, I would always take at least a 25-minute drive by myself, just listening to music and with the windows down.
Hey, get the money. Get the loot. Thanks, Jenna. We have a new segment today on The Breakdown. It's called Kicks, and it highlights the coolest pairs of shoes seen worn around the school. Here's Keaton Straub with the first edition.
These shoes are called Nike Air Mags. I think the biggest thing that makes them unique is the fact that they were in the movie Back to the Future 2, in the scene where Marty McFly auto-laces his shoes. They're the same shoes. They light up and they auto-lace. I believe these are the 2015 Michael J. Fox Foundation auction shoes. I think there's only 54 pairs of these in the world. I've had them for a few weeks now. I purchased them not too long ago. There's been multiple times where they sold on eBay between $30,000 and $40,000. I've had multiple people kiss my feet. I've also had other people film me and take pictures of me. I've also had a bunch of people ask me if they're real, which they obviously are. I've been kind of like a sneakerhead all my life, and when I first saw these shoes, I instantly fell in love with them when I saw the Back to the Future movie, and I knew one day that I would own them, for sure.
If you've seen any shoes you think should be featured on a segment of Kicks, let us know on Twitter, again, at WLHSnow. Track season is well underway. Here's Caden Kesselring with a feature on some of the athletes.
Another track season for Westland is underway. The competition is heating up in almost all events. but some aren't getting as much attention as people would like. Let's take a look at those events.
Triple jump would be the least competitive event. We have one person that competes in triple jump for the entire school.
Only the triple jump, we don't have any varsity triple jumpers right now.
With all the attention going towards sprints and relays, hurdles are often forgotten. Ashley Chun is a part of the hurdle team. Let's hear what she has to say.
I compete in a bunch of events. I do discus, hurdles, and sprints. Least popular is definitely hurdles. There's not a lot of competition there, especially against schools.
Triple jump is another unclaimed event. Here's what it takes to be a part of it.
I'm the only person that actually does triple jump at our school right now. I have weightlifting for third period, so I work out then and try to just help myself to get stronger for the meets and everything.
Winding down the season, student athletes are continuing to push themselves and thrive on and off the track and field. Reporting for WHS Now, this is Sam Miso.
Thanks, Caden. We have a new edition of Cribs today, brought to you by Rory Cheevers. Let's check it out.
Hi, I'm Mr. Bingham, and this is my crib. Hey, over here is my kitchen. We have coffee every morning. Honey for my coffee. This isn't for you guys, though. This is for me. Some artwork by some of my past students. Also, a meme. I think it's an important thing to take note of. We've got the cool ram horns on display up top. That's pretty old. Those screws, probably pre-World War II. The screws are flathead screws. We've got a square bolt mounting that, and that's all old growth Doug fir. And it's a hidden treasure here at Westland High School. This is my workspace. I'm a pile guy, so everything kind of goes into a pile, and I find what it is I'm looking for. But this is where I take roll. This is how we get rolling. Here's my rock collection. We've got all of them. The rocks organized here. I teach geology and environmental science. Kids have donated their birds over the years from next door in the art class. We make birds. Those are on display here in the room. We're still kind of decorating. I know I moved in a year ago, but finding time to get things up on the wall has taken a little longer than I wanted. Head on here to the back. One of our showpieces that I'm currently working on getting up and going is a display case for some of the really cool rocks and minerals we have here. This is a pretty old piece from the Westland Library. You'll notice here are all the plants. I teach a permaculture class as well. We've done some starts, and they're just getting started. Actually, I got most of the cupboards closed. That's a good thing today. This is a passive solar house made out of cob, all green design. We're waiting for a sunny day to run a good test on this guy and see how well it does retaining temperature, and some of the other houses that we'll build are up there. So the classroom actually doesn't stop here, though. It kind of extends out the back door. And one of the things we've done with the pallet is our boot storage down this way, designed to keep all our rubber boots dry and usable and user-friendly as they're all paired up. This was all made with reclaimed materials by students for students. So kind of a neat use of material that otherwise would have been thrown away, and that's to keep the tall kids from hurting themselves. Thanks for visiting my crib. Make sure you take some geology, environmental science, and you can spend some more time out here. CTE program 2018, environmental science.
Westland's annual tradition of May Day continues this Friday. This year marks the 98th time May Day has been celebrated. Here's Andrew Callahan with a preview.
This year will mark Westland's 98th annual May Day, a tradition where a king and queen from the student body are crowned, and the gym is transformed for a performance theme, Dancing Through the Moonlight.
I think it's the ability to show to the school that I'm not just some kid that sits on the computer and makes videos, but like I can actually do stuff in the real world.
I've sang my whole life, and I don't really have, because I'm not in choir or anything, I don't really have an outlet to perform anymore, so I just really wanted to get back out there.
Years ago, I had a game with my little brothers where we would tie each other up and escape, and a couple years ago there was an open mic lunch night thing at the school library, and I thought, well, I suppose I could do that, and I did it, and then the next year I did it again, and then Well, I told some people I'd be doing it for May Day, or at least trying out, and I tried out, and here I am.
I really liked picking out my fabric for my dress, which is royal blue. And yesterday was our first fitting for it, and it was super exciting to try it on.
Just to kind of be a part of it, because before it's just like I've always just been watching it, but now like being a part of it is going to be really fun. Just being on the court.
The 98th annual May Day occurs this Friday, the 27th, here at West Lynn. So there will be one showing during the school day and one after the school day. Both performances will be featuring different acts, so come to both if you can. Reporting for WLHSnow, I'm Andrew Callahan.
That's all we have for today, Westland, so stay tuned to WLHSnow.com for the next episode.
Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at WLHSNow.
I'm Cameron Massey.
And I'm Andrew Callahan.
And this was Your Breakdown.